Hey everybody, it's Lauren Carpenter here with Fantasy Pros. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. And today we are going to be discussing the top 10 rookies from our expert consensus rankings for single quarterback dynasty formats. Number 10, Justin Fields. You can make the argument that Fields should be even higher in the rankings, but there are still doubts about whether Matt Nagy will build his offense to suit Fields' strength. Still, if he doesn't, he'll be gone in 2022 and the Bears will have a new coaching staff, so it's not too much of a knock against Fields' dynasty stock. With his mobility, Fields should be a usable fantasy quarterback almost immediately. Number 9, RASHOD Bateman. Bateman has plenty of skill, but the landing spot isn't ideal for his fantasy appeal. The Ravens have targeted their wide receivers just 393 times over the last 2 years combined, a number that 4 teams topped in 2020 alone. Even if he takes over as the number 1 go-to receiver for Lamar Jackson, we still have Mark Andrews in the mix, so Bateman may be capped around 90 to 100 targets. Number 8, Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence is everything you want in a rookie quarterback. He is not just an accurate pocket passer with great size. He also has plenty of mobility, which should net 300 plus rushing yards and 5 plus rushing touchdowns, providing you with a consistent QB1 production right out of the gate. There's a ton of upside and little downside. Number 7, JAYLEN WADDLE. Waddle went number 6 overall in the draft, which means he'll get plenty of opportunity in the Dolphins' offense. With Will Fuller on the roster, Miami is likely to use Waddle in the slot, which is great for his projection. Tua Tagovailoa was having a tough time last year because his receivers were failing to generate separation, and that's something Waddle won't have an issue with in the slot, so he'll likely become the favorite of Tagovailoa. High target numbers will be hard to come by with Fuller and DeVonta Parker on the roster, but Fuller is on just a 1-year deal and may be gone in 2022, which would only increase Waddle's long-term value. Number 6, DeVonta Smith. Some are worried about Smith's size at the next level, but the game has changed in a lot of ways in order to make it less violent, which certainly helps Smith. If it's press coverage you're worried about, don't be. Smith is a wizard at getting off the line of scrimmage. The Eagles traded up to get their go-to receiver for Jalen Hurts. He'll be a force in fantasy from the get-go. Number 5, Javonte Williams. Some won't love Williams' landing spot in Denver with Melvin Gordon there, but he's got just 1 year left on his deal and is still facing a potential suspension from the NFL for his drinking and driving incident. On top of that, the Broncos seem to want a timeshare with him and Phillip Lindsay, so it's not like Williams won't have fantasy appeal in 2021. This offense is a quarterback away from exploding, which gives Williams massive upside on his rookie contract. Number 4, Travis Etienne. Etienne received first-round draft capital, which is huge for his projection, though we mustn't forget that James Robinson is still on the roster, so it will be somewhat of a timeshare. Still, don't be worried about Urban Meyer saying that Robinson and Carlos Hyde are the 1-2 down backs and Etienne is the 3rd down back. Why? You don't draft a 3rd down back in the 1st round. If he's used like Alvin Kamara, that'll be just fine for fantasy purposes. Number 3, Kyle Pitts. Pitts has been dubbed the next great tight end, though we've seen highly touted tight ends bust before. Pitts is reminiscent of Vernon Davis, who took a few years to get going. He's currently the number 3 option in the Falcons passing game, so he's not going to win leagues right out of the gate, but he should already be in the top 5 dynasty tight end conversation. Number 2, Ja'Marr Chase. Getting reunited with Joe Burrow is definitely not a bad thing for Chase, and he's got instant chemistry upon entering the NFL. The only issue with the landing spot is that T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are both there and both deserve high target totals themselves. Still, that didn't stop Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup from producing, right? Chase is going to be a fantasy star for a long time. And number 1, Najee Harris. When a running back gets drafted in the 1st round, they're going to be heavily utilized. When that particular running back is uber talented and a true 3-down back in the Steelers' offense, they're going to be valued as an RB1 right away. Harris will be a workhorse in this league for a long time and is worthy of the number 1 pick in rookie drafts. And that's all we have for our top 10 rookie rankings from FantasyPros expert consensus rankings. And thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at FantasyPros on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to make sure that you don't miss any of the content that we'll be pumping out all year long.